What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jacob from Topside MMA, and today I'm coming at you with my locks and traps video for UFC 321. You guys know the deal with these videos. We're going to break down every single fight on this card, and I'm going to rank every single pick from my most confident at the very top with the locks, all the way down to my very least confident picks at the very bottom with the traps. You guys know the deal, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Also, we're doing it dark too. Had the poll in the last week's video. You guys wanted the dark theme, so we're going to run with it. If you guys want any changes, let me know. But as of now, we're going to run with the dark theme. So thank you guys for voting. And yeah, we're going to go with the majority of you guys want. So we're going dark for this one. Next up, or first up rather, we got Amorim versus Inoue. Now, this one I have it as a medium confidence pick just because I like everything about Amorim in this spot. You know, I was watching some of Inoue's recent fights, even though they were long ass time ago, and it was just like, I really don't like the fact that she was accepting bottom position in a lot of different spots. You know, her defensive grappling does seem to have some holes in it, especially from the wrestling standpoint. I mean, we saw girls like Virna who were able to just absolutely have their way with her. And that's the other thing that I don't really love about Inoue in this spot, is that she does wear damage pretty poorly. I mean, you could see early on in that fight against Virna, literally the first round, her eyes completely swollen shut from ground and pound shots. And against a girl like Amorim, she's damn good on the ground. Now, she's looking for more for submissions as opposed to big ground and pound knockouts. However, if these shots start to add up over time, I could really see the damage starting to wear on a girl like Inoue, which is a big red flag for her. Also, that's not even to mention the fact that she's been off for so many years. She's had so many injuries that she's had to deal with throughout the years, from her knees to her eyes. I mean, it just really doesn't stop. I feel bad for her. At the same time, though, I have this as a medium confidence pick because we've seen when Amorim has really stepped up the level of competition against girls like Sam Hughes, she ended up losing that fight. So, you know, I just want to see a little bit more for Amorim, and especially in spots where it's not a layup submission win, because we haven't seen Inoue submitted before. So especially like in one of these spots where it doesn't seem like there's just some gaping hole in the other girl's grappling that she can just run right through and exploit, and she can just submit girls in the first round. I do have a bit of a concern for Amorim. You know, and she's gonna have to prove it. You know, she's getting better and better. She's very young, entering her physical prime. So the more that we see from her, she's going to look better and better. I'm not going all in on it just yet, because we have seen, you know, when she can't have her way on the ground, she can struggle. Now, I do think she's going to land the takedowns. I do think she's going to take it to the ground, and I think she can win the scrambles on the ground against a girl like Inoue. But like I said, I just have a slight doubt in the back of my mind. The pick clear as day. There's no way in hell I was picking against Amorim. It's just a matter of how confident I am. The highest of medium confidence picks. I almost made it a high confidence pick, and I get a lot of people are very highly confident on Amorim this week. I thought about moving it up to a high confidence, but I just put out the highest medium confidence pick. But I do really think she gets the job done this week. But anyway, next up, we got Volkov versus Almeida. I am not confident in this pick at all, because I really feel like this comes down to if Jailton Almeida can get the takedowns or not. I mean, we've seen Volkov do pretty damn well in the grappling against other guys, and he's really started to, improve that aspect of his game quite rapidly in recent years. You know, he's really improved it quite a bit, because, you know, he's a tall, lengthy guy. I can see him having trouble preventing the takedowns against a guy like Jailton Almeida, who should be able to get to his legs with, I don't want to say with relative ease, but I feel like the option, and it's going to be a clear path for Jailton Almeida in this fight to really get to the ground. And if he does, I really do trust Jailton Almeida to win the grappling exchanges. I don't think Volkov is like a fish out of water on the ground. I mean, he was beating Ciryl Gane in the grappling, but at the same time, it's just, I don't really have a lot of faith in Volkov to beat a Jailton Almeida in the scrambles, win exchanges, and get to a top position over a guy who's so dominant on the ground like Jailton Almeida. I gotta pick Jailton Almeida this week. However, I will say, if Volkov's takedown defense holds up, if Volkov is able to keep it on the feet, I mean, his striking is crisp. It's pretty underrated. I think Volkov is one of the guys in the heavyweight division where he's really improving from fight to fight, from year to year, and we're going to see the best version of him that I think we've ever seen. And I really like Volkov, honestly. I think he's underrated, and I think he'll look pretty good in the spot as long as he can keep it on the feet. It's just a matter of if he can keep it on the feet. Can he keep it on the feet? Can he strike for a full 15 minutes? Because, I mean, if this was a kickboxing match, Volkov would have a serious advantage. I mean, Jailton's hands, they're getting better, but they're not the best. You know, it's in terms of the striking, I like Volkov. In terms of the grappling, I like Almeida. It's really whoever can have their way in this fight, who can have their whichever path they want to take. I mean, who can really lead the pace of this fight is going to win. For a huge line going for Almeida, I don't love it. You know, I'm waiting for this line to really widen out. Might have to put a little something on Volkov, because I think he's a very live underdog this week. A lot of people are completely writing him off. And we've seen with Almeida, when he wasn't able to get the takedowns, or he wasn't able to have grappling success against a guy like Curtis Blades, he froze. I mean, he completely froze, got knocked out, and had no answer. I mean, he just sat there, took an ass beating on the ground, just holding on for dear life. Who's to say that couldn't happen against a guy like Volkov? Extremely tall, extremely lengthy. If he's up against the cage, I can see him having some takedown defense that really holds up. You know, I could see it. I have concerns about this one. I'm still picking Almeida because I just feel like if he gets the takedowns, it's not going to be pretty. But if he doesn't, who knows? Volkov could win this fight. So low confidence pick, not the highest confidence pick, obviously, for Almeida. But yeah, it could go either way. Next up, we got Walker versus Sutherland. Now, this is another one. It's kind of like the Amorim fight. I have it as a medium confidence pick because Walter Walker has proven he can hang at the UFC level. He's extremely dangerous on the ground. And if you give him your heels, he's going to take him and he's going to snatch him right up. I mean, the guy's proven time and time again, he's a heel hook merchant. He's looking for him, and he probably could get him against a guy like Sutherland. The only thing about Sutherland is that he is pretty damn durable. He can go long. We haven't seen him finish before, so I do have my concerns of if Walter Walker is not able to take it to the ground, if he's not able to wrap up that submission. We've seen Walter Walker struggle later on in fights. You know, when his one loss, Lucas Rebecki, we saw when he was not able to get those takedowns in the later stages of the fight, he was screwed. His cardio was terrible. He wasn't able to land takedowns. His striking looked terrible. And against a guy like Sutherland, I could see him being very game in terms of the striking alone. It's just the grappling. I gotta lean Walter Walker. You know, I think in the first round especially, Walter Walker is going to be extremely dangerous. If he was able to submit Kennedy like that, I mean, I damn sure figure he could probably submit a guy like Sutherland, who really hasn't proven that he's even UFC level at this point. Who knows how good Sutherland is or isn't? We haven't seen him tested. So the one thing I will say about Walter Walker, I talked about this in my full card breakdown too, is that he really has improved quite a bit in terms of physically, in terms of his build. I mean, he's getting a lot more leaner. He's becoming a better athlete, but also, and just in terms of being more well-rounded, you know, his striking's a little bit more well-rounded. You know, it's starting to improve from fight to fight. And I like what I'm seeing from him. You know, he's really actively making improvements and getting better and better with every single fight. And he's a very young heavyweight too. He's not even 30 years old at heavyweight, and he's on this nice little streak. He's going to be a real problem in the next couple years. It's just a matter of how good he is at this current point in time, the level of competition that he can beat, because the heavyweight division is not very stacked, as we all know. So a lot of times guys can really skate by getting wins against lower level competition. Is Louie Sutherland the guy to really end the Walter Walker hype train, to end the submission streak? I have no idea. I personally don't think so. I'm pretty confident Walter Walker can get this done. Even if he's not able to get Sutherland out of there, I think he can still just control him on the ground, wet blanket his way to a decision win if it gets to that point. Because like I said, I like the improvements that he's made in recent fights rather, in his cardio. You know, his cardio has looked a lot better. And I know his fights are not going long, so we haven't really seen him recently in like a third round or anything like that because he's wrapping up these heel hook sub wins. But just in terms of his physical build, I mean, you can tell he's getting leaner. He's putting on more muscle. He's not this fat slob of a heavyweight. So I like Walter Walker in the spot. Like I said, there are some unknowns about Walter Walker. How is his cardio going to look if it goes later? Because we've seen real holes in that before in previous fights. So there is the concern at the back of my mind. That's why I don't have him as a high confidence pick. And there's those unknowns about Louie Sutherland. But pick's got to be Walter Walker. There's no way in hell I'm picking against the guy on a 3-fight heel hook streak. I mean, that's never happened before. So I'm trusting his grappling. I feel like if he gets it to the ground, he's going to be dangerous, especially early on. He should be able to submit a guy like Sutherland, even though we haven't seen that before. We'll have to see how it goes. But either way, Walter Walker via submission or decision. I don't really see a knockout happening. I feel like it's sub or decision. But yeah, I like Walter Walker in the spot. Next up, we got Jandiroba versus Dern. Now, honestly, the more I look into this one, I almost thought about putting it as a trap, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I mean, we know what we're getting with these two girls. I mean, they're both good, solid grapplers. It's just a matter of who can have their way. You know, Virna, she is getting a bit older, so I do have my concerns of, all right, how long is she going to be very dominant in the grappling? Because, you know, grappling is one of those things where it's so much more physically intensive on your body. It's just like wrestling. You know, like guys who are wrestlers in high school, you can't be a 40-year-old wrestler. You know, it just, you're not explosive enough to be able to compete at a high level like that. Your just body cannot keep that level of athleticism and explosiveness that you need to be able to be competitive in something like wrestling later on in life. That's why a lot of guys transition to BJJ, because you don't have to be very explosive. You don't have to be extremely athletic to do decently in BJJ. You know what I mean? There's that level of difference of athleticism required. So a girl like Virna, who really, in terms of the striking, not great. She wants to take it to the ground. She wants to control girls. That type of a style, I don't know when the fall off is going to start to happen. You know, at 37 years old, I don't know how much longer she has left. So, I mean, it could be, we could start to see a decline here soon, maybe in this fight, maybe not. You know, maybe she's going to be like an Angela Hill, who's over 40 and looks absolutely amazing. I mean, we'll have to see what we get from a Virna Jandiroba. I'm just not really too sure if I can take that risk on her. You know, I like with Mackenzie Dern, she's younger, she's improving from fight to fight. I really like her striking. It's gotten a lot better in recent years. Yes, she's had some bad losses on her record. Or not bad losses, but she's had quite a few losses. I mean, even within her most 5 recent fights, she's had quite a few losses, including, or 2 at least. Yeah, 2 in the last 5, one of them being a knockout loss. So it's like, there are the concerns there. It's just, is Virna going to knock Mackenzie Dern out? Absolutely not. You know, I think it's really going to come down to who is the better grappler. Now, the other stat that I really like on this, I got a small play on Mackenzie Dern this week, and really I'm just kind of letting the numbers do the work for me. I like it because if you look at rematches in UFC history, whoever wins the first fight typically wins the second in the rematch 70% of the time. I'm kind of just, in terms of the pick, I'm letting the numbers do the work for me. Obviously, upsets can happen. You can go against the numbers. I mean, 30% of the time, that doesn't happen. So there's a good chance that Virna, she's very high level. She can win this fight. Do not get me wrong. It's very, very, very live for Virna to win. Either girl could win the spot. I'm just kind of letting the numbers do the work for me in terms of the pick because I've gone back and forth. I like the recent improvements from Mackenzie Dern in her striking. I already know her grappling is extremely dangerous. Yes, she can give up control positions and time on the clock, rather, in terms of control time, just going for submissions that she might not be able to get against a girl like Virna Jandiroba. But I just feel like in terms of the explosiveness, the youth, it's going to be on her side. I believe she's 32 years old right now. She's going to have a real youth advantage here. I like the striking edge for her. And I think in terms of just raw submission abilities, I give her the edge there too. You know, I know Virna is a very good wrestler, but, you know, Mackenzie's going to be very dangerous. And if this ends up, if the grappling between these two and the wrestling just ends up canceling out and this has a lot of striking back and forth on the feet, I think Virna is going to be at a disadvantage in the spot. So there are a couple little reasons like that to go with Dern this week. I like her as the pick. Got a small play on her. But yeah, I would not be completely mind blown if she lost. The last thing I will say too, we're in Abu Dhabi. There have been a lot of questionable calls done in Abu Dhabi, and I will say, if the UFC wants either girl to win, who are we thinking here? Are we thinking smoke show Mackenzie Dern or the most handsome Virna in the entire world? Probably. I mean, who are we thinking? I'm just saying, this could look like a Shevchenko-Grasso. I mean, it could, a lot of people might be pissed. I could see this going to a split decision and Dern getting the nod because she's very marketable, and we will end it at that. But next up, we got Klein versus Rebecki. Now, I got this as a low confidence pick too. I know a lot of people are actually relatively high on Klein this week. I just have those concerns in the back of my mind of, you know, Rebecki, he does have a good wrestling game. He can't wrestle for 15 minutes because he gets tired. We've seen that before. He really starts to gas out. We've seen that before. So we know going into this, all right, if the wrestling is going to be really strong and powerful and explosive, it's going to be early on, and it's going to start to slow off the longer this fight goes. And I like Klein on the feet as well. You know, I think Klein is going to be the crisper boxer in terms of the speed and the accuracy. You know, I like him. He's in and out very quick. But I have that doubt in the back of my mind of like, all right, I think Klein should be able to win on the feet. But Rebecki does have the wrestling in his back pocket to where he could really pull it out. You know, if he could win 2 out of 3 rounds by wrestling, maybe he's tired and he gives up the 3rd round. He's so damn durable, though. I don't know if Klein's going to be able to get him out of there in maybe the 3rd round if he starts to slow down. He could. We've seen it before. Ferreira knocked his ass out in the 3rd round. Very, very late into that, too. I mean, he was just death gassed. So I have my concerns. If this was a pure boxing match, I'd have Klein as a medium confidence pick. You know, I think he's a lot quicker. I think he's faster. I think he's really able to get in and get out. I like his ability to really like, I don't know, like pick his shots. You know what I mean? He's a very technical guy. Whereas Rebecki, he's looking to go to war. He's looking to crash out. He's looking to make it an ugly, sloppy fight. But the thing is he's coming off of a really bad ass kicking in his last fight less than 3 months ago. Is he going to want to really go out here and go to war and get absolutely obliterated on the feet again? Is he going to want to do that? Maybe he goes into this looking, okay, this Klein guy just got smoked in the wrestling. I can wrestle. Why don't I just take this guy down? That seems like the clear, obvious path for Rebecki in this spot. I just don't trust his fight IQ because he's going to make every single fight he's in an absolute war bar burner. That's going to the very end of a decision that could go either guy's way. So I don't trust his fight IQ, and I don't trust him to stick to the path of least resistance. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Klein. I think if anyone's going to fight the smarter game plan, it's going to be Klein. I like his hands a little bit more. Like I said, though, I just have that wrestling the thoughts about wrestling in the back of my head about we've seen those holes with Klein, and we've seen that Rebecki can wrestle. So I do have my concerns on this one, but still picking Klein. Low confidence pick. Next up, we got a trap. Abdelwahab versus Barnett. Don't sleep on my boy Barnett. Do not sleep on Beast Boy. Do not sleep on Beast Boy. I mean, yes, Beast Boy is pushing 40, and he's a 5'9" heavyweight who at times has weighed in over the 265-pound limit. Yes, his knees are basically shot. I mean, there's probably a million other injuries he has. Yes, his cholesterol is probably through the roof, and he's probably highly at risk for heart disease. There's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know about Chris Barnett. And I feel like an absolute traitor for not having his name circled in this. I mean, I feel like a traitor, and I might just pick flip. I might have to pick flip, because in my heart's telling me Beast Boy. You got to look at Hamdy Abdelwahab, though. I mean, you look at this guy. Hamdy, off the gear, he's not won a fight. You guys got to realize that. I know he has this wrestling base there. He was apparently like like Olympian wrestler or some shit. He doesn't use it because his gas tank is horrible. So this is going to look like a striking match back and forth. I anticipate a lot of striking in this one. Is he going to look like, is Hamdy going to come out here and look like a minus 450 favorite that he is? I would be very surprised. I think this is going to be a lot closer than the line suggests. Yes, he's fighting in his part of the world where Hamdy's probably going to have the edge, and we've seen him get a split decision robbery his way once before. Wouldn't it be mind-blowing if he gets another one against our boy Beast Boy? Because, I mean, at this point, Beast Boy's probably just going to get fed to up-and-coming guys for the next year or two before he retires. They're kind of doing their, I don't know, like they're treating him like a Drew Dober, you know what I mean? They're just kind of feeding him. They're just kind of cycling him like, all right, pal, you've done us some favors. Now you're getting towards the end of the road. You fight the up-and-coming guys. It's just at heavyweight, you're not fighting the Gene Silvas of the world. You're not fighting like the Manuel Torreses. You're fighting Hamdy. I mean, that's kind of what this is at right now. I mean, it's just, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because at one point, I really think Hamdy's terrible. His last loss to Usman is unexcusable. He looked terrible. And off the gear, he has not won a fight. He has not won a grappling match. He has never taken a single legitimate dub off of the gear. He's a whole different person, at least with Beast Boy. Yeah, he might have injuries. And yeah, he might come in here and do a dance before the fight starts and blow both of his ACLs out. I mean, I would not be completely mind blown if he comes in here and blows it. However, Hamdy is not good. And Chris Barnett can hit like a mother effer. I mean, he can hit hard. We saw his knockout record is 18-4. He could crack Hamdy. He could crack him. Don't be surprised if Barnett comes out here, puts on a masterclass against a bum who really is only good on steroids. I mean, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. That being said, picks, I guess it's got to be Hamdy. I mean, everything possible for Barnett is going against him in this. I mean, he's wrong weight class. Health is not great. In terms of his physical body, like a ton of injuries. Going across the world, fight a guy that has already had robbery decisions go his way. He's not a good wrestler, and at least now he's going against a guy like Hamdy. He can wrestle. So, I mean, in terms of the striking, I like Barnett, but pretty much everything else goes towards Hamdy, so I totally get it. I am extremely biased. I'm a Beast Boy fan. I talked about this fight more than I probably should have. But yeah, got it as a trap. Do not play Hamdy at minus 450. Absolutely insane because he's a bum. So he's just not good. So next up, we got Aliskerov versus Park. I have this as a medium confidence pick because it really feels like this is a setup match for Ikram to come in here to win. I mean, we've seen when he really levels up and he fights higher level of competition of guys, he doesn't look great. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. He fought Chimaev, got smoked. And I know, champion, don't get me wrong. I know, very high level. But he's fought Rob Whittaker. Smoked. I mean, anytime he fights anyone who has some type of finishing upside, he gets finished. So I do have that concern in the fight against Park where he's not the most durable, I mean, not the most damaging in the sense of not the most dangerous, but Park is one of those guys where if he can weather the early storm and you start to slow down, he can take over. He can take over the longer this fight goes. So there is that concern of maybe Ikram Aliskerov gasses out going for a finish and he can't get it. And then we're in the third round. He's super tired and the Iron Turtle has a second wind of life. And the more I say this out loud, it sounds more like a fairy tale than the actual reality of it happening. But there is that doubt in the back of my mind of maybe he sells. I mean, we've seen Ikram get shinned badly before. It could happen again. Who knows? But I feel like this fight was made for a reason. They needed to give Ikram someone that he can beat. I mean, Young Park, he's good on the ground. He's very durable. But in terms of raw, like, skill, athleticism, explosiveness, Ikram hasn't beat. I mean, I'm just not too worried skill for skill that Ikram is going to be behind anywhere here. He's fighting in his home turf. I guess not exactly, but where he wants to be fighting, rather. This is going to help him rather than it's going to hurt him. Especially a guy like Park, who's, he's South Korean. So, I mean, no favors for him in this fight. And this seems like if it does go long, you know, Park is durable. I just don't see a reality where Park, like, edges out a decision here. I mean, I'd be surprised if he won a decision against Aliskerov in Abu Dhabi. I'd be very surprised. There's a chance. I mean, there's a chance he could win, but I just don't see it. I feel like Ikram should win this fight. This is a winnable fight for him. He should get the job done here. But next up, we got a high confidence pick. Maxim versus Raposo. Now, I like Maxim. You know, I will say, after his previous fight, or before the fight against Tagir Ulanbekov, I wasn't extremely high on him because I had concerns. I was like, okay, Charles Johnson, who isn't really a wrestler, you know, I mean, he was able to win a lot of the exchanges against Azat. So I was like, okay, if Charles Johnson is beating you in the scrambles, Tagir Ulanbekov should be able to take you down and win the exchanges on the ground too. That's what I thought. And, I mean, it did kind of play out like that. But at the same time, I mean, Azat Maxim, he was the one landing takedowns against Tagir. Tagir couldn't land a single takedown against Azat. So I was like, damn, this guy's better than I thought on the ground. He's already impressed me because I knew on the feet, he's sharp. He has good hands. He has good boxing. He's able to drop Charles Johnson, have him in a tricky spot. I believe he almost submitted him early on in that fight too. And, you know, it's like, there are a lot of times where it's like, he's looked really good against guys that I really respect. Tagir Ulanbekov, very high level grappler. Charles Johnson, crafty ass vet. Charles Johnson is slept on. He's a very, very good fighter. Just put Loner Kavanaugh out. I mean, the guy is damn good. He's underrated. And so to see him look that good, although losses, he looked great in both of those losses, I will say. So to see, though, like both of those back to back, I'm not worried about his striking because I saw it tested and it looked good against Charles Johnson. And I'm not worried about the grappling because I saw it tested and it looked good against Tagir Ulanbekov. Whereas with Mitch Raposo, he just really hasn't shown me anything that really stands out to be like, yeah, he should win this fight. I just don't see him to win anywhere. I don't think he's going to be a better grappler. I don't think he's a better striker. He has less volume. There's nothing that really stands out to me that says, yep, I want to back Mitch Raposo. I literally think Maxim is better everywhere. I like the better experience. I like everything about him in terms of the striking, the grappling. Not worried about him anywhere else. I mean, I'm not worried about him getting submitted in the spot. I'm not worried about him getting knocked out against a guy like Mitch Raposo. There's just no real worry I have about Maxim in the spot. This seems like a pretty clear, I don't want to say layup spot, but it seems like a very, very winnable spot. I just don't even know if Mitch Raposo is going to be able to last at the UFC, whereas with Maxim, I think he's definitely going to hang at the UFC level. He's just had some really tricky matchups. Not to say Raposo's thrown layups or anything. The Lima fight, I mean, yeah, he lost, and it wasn't as close as it looked on paper in terms of like seeing it as a split, but it just didn't look great. You know, I mean, he didn't really have any moments where it was like, oh, damn, he looks great. Whereas, like, at least with Maxim and his fights against Tagir and his fights against Charles Johnson, he's looked like, damn, he's had moments where it's like, okay, he looks good. You know, and I like his trajectory. I like the way he's looking. He seems to be improving in every aspect. I mean, from his striking to the grappling, it seems to keep getting better and better. I like him in the spot quite a bit. And like I said, I don't really see a path for Mitch Raposo to win this fight. Is he going to win a close decision in Abu Dhabi against Maxim, the Kazakhstani? Absolutely not. I mean, I just feels like every single thing's going against Mitch Raposo in this spot. So Azat Maxim, very confident pick, high confident pick for me. So yeah, that does it for this one. Next up, we got Rakic versus Mirzakhanov. Now, I know a lot of people are very torn on this one, so I'm going to move myself over a little bit. I know a lot of people are torn on this fight, and I am too. That's why I have it as a low confidence pick, because the more I think about this one, I'm just like, oh, man, I feel like Rakic, he's going into this where he's the actual light heavyweight. This is where he should be. This is his natural weight class. He could even fight at heavyweight. I mean, he's very lean, extremely muscular, tall. He's going to have the height advantage. He's going to have the reach advantage. There are a lot of things going for Rakic in this spot, and I was just looking at recent photos of him where he's been showing up in shape, you know, or like doing the media day pictures and all that. You look at Rakic, I mean, he's in like career best shape. I mean, he's lean, shredded, looks ready to go. I mean, this is going to be a really, really good version of Rakic that we're going to see, hopefully, in this spot. You know, he hasn't fought in a long time. I mean, or not a long time, but he hasn't won since what? 2020 or something. He's just been on a really bad cold streak, and I worry about that going against an undefeated guy like Mirzakhanov, where I know he shouldn't probably be at this weight class. He should probably be a weight class below, but it's just, he keeps finding ways to win, and he has this starch knockout power. I don't know if he has the highest knockout rate in terms of the division. But if you look through this guy's record, I mean, he's getting knockdowns in every single fight, or just about. I mean, going through this, he got one against Brenton Ribeiro. He got one against Alonzo Minifield. He got one against Dustin Jacoby. He got one against Devin Clark. He got one against Tafon Chukri. And he got one against Mateusz Scheffel, too. I mean, he's getting knockdowns against everyone. Everyone. He's knocking down everyone. How am I going to pick against that? How am I going to do? How am I going to do it? And you look at Rakic, you're like, yes, he has been durable, but he's had injuries. I know one of his knockout losses was due to injury, but he also got chinned by Yuri, and he got chinned and finished rather quickly. And it's like it's not like his chin completely like turned to dust and he was just folded immediately. It was just a barrage of, you know how Yuri is. He's very chaotic, and once he sees that you're hurt, his finishing upside is extremely high. I feel like if Azat can hit him and hurt him and get him wobbled at any point throughout this fight, Rakic is probably cooked. Now, on the contrary, if he's able to have a really nice back and forth, really like point fighting his way to a win here, they're very live. I mean, if his hands are pretty slick, you know what I mean? I like his upside in terms of his kicking too. You know, he has nice kicks that he can land that can really, he can use kicks in this fight to keep Murzakanov at distance and really use the length advantage to his favor. So he does have some upside here. I really do see it. I get why people are on Rakic a lot in this spot. I really get it. And at the same time, Rakic is only losing to the best of the best. You know, I mean, it's not like he's losing to random bums. The last 3 losses are all fucking champions. So, I mean, they're all respectable losses, and I totally get it. I just worry, because it's one of those things where it's like, you can see the better fighter losing. Like, even if you think Rakic is better, I worry about his chin, and a guy like Murzakanov, who just seems to have just absolute nukes in his hands, he's knocking down everyone. I worry about it. And I think all it takes is one shot. I literally could see Rakic winning the first 2 rounds. I could see it going like Roundtree versus Yuri. Literally, Roundtree was coasting his way to a win. Coasting, absolutely coasting. Got clipped. Started to slow down a bit. Got clipped. That was the end of that fight. I mean, the better fighter lost. Straight up. That's how it went. I could see the exact same thing happening here with Rakic versus Murzakanov. Does it actually happen? Who knows? You know, maybe Rakic doesn't get clipped. Maybe he's able to point fight his way to a win. You know, Murzakanov, we've seen him start to slow down the later that fight goes on. So I like Rakic's cardio better than Murzakanov in this spot. So Rakic does have the upside here. And I think if this fight goes long, he could definitely win this fight on the scorecards. I would not be surprised if the Rakic won on the scorecards. I just think Murzakanov is very live for a knockout in the spot. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. I have it as a low confidence pick because, like I said, it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if either man won. But as for now, I got Murzakanov picked for so slightly. But next up, we got one of their locks. We got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. How is Umar going to lose this fight? I mean, I really don't even need to talk about this one a ton. I think he's pretty much better everywhere. He's looked better against higher level of competition. I mean, the way he looked against Merab, he was about to win that fight. If it wasn't for the last 30 seconds, he would have been the champion. And he broke his hand in that fight too. I mean, he had a lot of little things go poorly in that fight for him that really he was very, very, very close to winning that fight. So I just don't know where Mario Bautista is going to be able to pull through and look great in this fight. I mean, where is he going to have his edge here? Is he the better striker? No. Is he the better grappler? No. Is he the better wrestler? No. Does he have better cardio? It's not going to matter in a 3-round fight. How does he win this fight? And now he's fighting in Abu Dhabi against a Khabib guy. Bautista is cooked. I mean, if you're winning splits against geriatric Jose Aldo, you're not beating probably the best guy in the entire division. I mean, besides, Merab, if they run a rematch, it'll be great to see how they both look in that fight. You know, it's 1 and 2. I mean, Merab and Umar, it's very, very, very close. So, I mean, is Bautista at that level? I don't think so. And it's not even to underrate Bautista. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't think Bautista's bad. He's obviously proven that he's better than a lot of people thought. He's proven a lot of people wrong. And I respect Bautista's game. It's just, Umar is just better everywhere. He's fighting where he wants to be fighting. I mean, it would have to be a miracle for Bautista to win. I mean, genuinely, Umar would have to go in there and break his leg, blow out his ACL. Is Bautista winning a back and forth striking match or a grappling match? I mean, I don't see him winning anywhere. Where is he going to win? I don't like the props on this one, though. I feel like just in terms of the bets, if you're going to play this one, just play the money line, man. Are you going to take his decision at like minus 180 or something? I don't want to take a sub prop. We've seen Bautista finished. In the UFC, I believe both of his losses have both been finishes too. One by knockout, one by submission. So it's like, are you going to roll the dice? And you could, I guess. Maybe you take the spread. I don't know. Maybe Bautista makes it close enough to where maybe he could win a round. I don't know. I don't really want to play that one cheeky. You know, if you're taking this, I think he is a lock, but I wouldn't get too cheeky. I think people might get burned trying to chase props on this one. But does it for this. I do think Umar should... I'd be very, very surprised if he lost. He should be a lock here. But next up, we got Hak Press versus Salkilled. This is a medium confidence pick for me purely because I like both guys a lot. I think they're both high level. They're going to be great talents in the UFC. Or Hak Press already is a lot more proven compared to Salkilled. But it's just, this is one of those where Hak Press, he's actually been training for this. He's been preparing for this. He has great takedown defense as he's proven throughout 3 years. He's probably the better striker in this fight. And we're taking Salkilled, who's coming in, flying halfway across the world, short notice, and he's going to have to rely on his takedowns in this fight if he really wants to win this fight. And I don't really know how his cardio is going to look stepping up off the couch after a week. So, very tightly lined fight. I agree with the line completely. I think it's right where it should be. Hak Press should be a slight favorite because who knows? Maybe Salkilled comes in here with amazing cardio, and he's been training and preparing this entire time. He's ready to fight like a Dan Ige. Call me anytime. I'm ready to pick up the phone. It could be like that. Who knows? I'm just leaning Hak Press because, you know, he's fighting right in his home turf, like his backyard pretty much. And he's going to have all this time where he's been preparing for this fight. I like him in terms of the raw striking. I like him. I think he has the edge on the feet. So it's just really, can Salkilled land takedowns or not? Short notice across the world like we talked about. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that for 3 full rounds. I think Hak Press is very live here. And I think he should win this fight given his advantages he's really coming into this fight with. So at the same time, though, I like both these guys a lot. I wouldn't be mind blown if Hak Press lost, but I would be surprised. I will say that. So next up, we got Al-Selwady versus Kamila. I got this as a trap purely because there are just so many unknowns, question marks, and red flags with both of these guys. I mean, Al-Selwady has not been able to have success in the UFC, has chin problems, and then on the other hand, we have Camilo, durability problems, cardio problems, 0-1 in the UFC. He lost a fight that he really could have won. Probably should have won, but he death gassed going for a damn submission in the first round and got finished shortly after. Both these guys need to prove something to me before I feel even remotely confident in a pick about either one of them. Way too many red flags for both of these guys. This one's completely scared me off, so I got it as a trap. I'm picking Camilo ever so slightly because I feel like his upside is better than Al-Selwady. He doesn't have that glaring chin problem, but I am not confident about this one. I mean, this could go either man's way, especially with the Brazilian flying halfway across the world. He's not going to have the advantage if this goes to the card, so I do have some concerns there. Pick is Camilo, but like I said, ever so slightly. But next up, I'll move my face too. We got Wood versus Delgado. I got this as a low confidence pick purely because I just respect both these guys a lot. You know, I think they're both very good competitors. I think they both have a ton of strengths pretty much everywhere. I don't think they either have a ton of weaknesses. I like the upside of the finishing upside of a guy like Delgado. That's why I have him picked in this spot, because we have seen with Wood, he has been finished quite a few times throughout his career by knockout, by submission. We've seen it all. So I do have that worry, whereas Delgado, he's not getting finished. He's a lot more durable. So this, I think, is an extremely closely lined fight. I mean, we got the Englishman versus the American. I don't see any BS going on behind the scenes here. I think this whoever wins this fight genuinely should win this fight on the scorecards if it goes there. I could see either guy winning this fight. I don't really have a strong lean towards either guy. Delgado does have a slight reach advantage in this that I do think gives him a little bit of a boost as well. And I like his durability upside, and I like his finishing upside. So I'm picking Delgado, but I would not be mind blown if Wood's able to pull this one out. He's extremely fast. But now, the last pick, I mean, you can see the opening for this last pick. You can see it. It's waiting there. It's calling. It's called my name. Last pick of the night, main event. Tom Aspinall. Absolute lock. Absolute lock. I talked about this in my full card breakdown for about 20 minutes, but now we're going to, I added some pictures to the slide. We're going to go over these boys' recent 5 fights, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I think Tom Aspinall is an absolute lock in the spot. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, we're going to go over the most 5 recent fights of both guys, go over them, go over the pluses, go over the cons. We're going to break them down. If you don't really give a shit and you don't want to watch this part, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for watching. But yeah, Tom Aspinall is the lock. But if you do want to stick around and hear out my reasoning, let's ride. All right, so first up, we got Gane versus Volkov 2. This is the look on Volkov's face after the fight. I just thought this was funny because he's looking in like astonishment. He can't believe that he lost his fight. And I'm not going to break this one down a ton. On the striking on the feet, Volkov looked great. In the second round, Volkov was whooping Gane's ass on the feet. I mean, it wasn't even close. But in terms of the scorecards, people say this was not a robbery. These were the media scores for this fight. You can go down. Oh, pointing this way. You can go down. You can look through every single score. One person scored it for Gane. This is what you call a robbery. I mean, genuinely, this is what you call a robbery. The funniest thing, too, did I say it or not? But off this picture, Volkov was pissed that he lost. The crowd's booing him like crazy. Not him, but just booing the decision like crazy. Ciryl Gane doesn't even do an interview. He just walks right off. I mean, he just says he wasn't happy about it. He knew that he lost. He wasn't excited. He wasn't happy. He just left. Him and his team immediately left the arena. They didn't even want to be there anymore. Everyone was like, what the hell just happened? Absolute robbery. So the first fight, he did not win. I mean, he did not win. No one else thought he won except for the crooked and corrupt judges. But next fight against Spivak. Spivak is a flat-footed, slow striker. He's going to take you to the ground. He wants to grapple you. What does Spivak do in this fight? He shoots one takedown the entire fight. This went into the second round, late into the second round. It was over a round and a half for this fight. So, I mean, he had more than enough time. And why was he letting Ciryl Gane land over 100 significant strikes, only shooting one fucking takedown? Blows my mind how bad Spivak's fight IQ is. Absolutely abysmal. He just let the Frenchman just tittle-tattle his way around the cage for a round and a half, outstrike him, and eventually got him out of there when he pretty much quit. I mean, it was the dumbest thing. Spivak gave this fight away. I mean, he really didn't even try. He did not even try at all. Said, screw my strengths. Let me just try and kickbox against the kickboxer. Genius play from Spivak. He got smoked as a result. This doesn't really tell us anything about Gane. I mean, he was able to have his way against the guy who didn't even try. Great. Next up, Gane versus Jones. Oh my goodness, this is one of the worst performances I've ever seen. We're going to talk about this a lot. Gane has a problem with his hands. He is a decent kickboxer in terms of his kicking. In the hands, he overextends like a motherfucker, and he overthrows shots that don't even have a lot of power in them, too. The way he overextends on his shots, you would think he's loading them up with a ton of power. Absolutely not. This is the Jones fight. Overextends, literally 2 seconds. I mean, this is 4 minutes in the first round. 1 minute's gone by. 4 minute mark, he overextends like crazy. What does Jon Jones do? Takes his dumb ass down. I mean, he gives him an immediate entrance to a takedown, takes it, grabs it, takes him to the ground. Ciryl Gane tries to get against the cage. What does that do? It lets Jon Jones get right to his back. Jon Jones follows him to the cage. Jon Jones on his back. I mean, this is nightmare fuel. It's already a minute and a half into the fight, and Ciryl Gane has completely pissed this fight away. And it's not like Jon Jones put on a masterclass. Ciryl Gane gave this up. I mean, he gave him the takedown. It wasn't like Jon Jones is shooting some telegraph takedown from a mile away. No, he overextended like a dumbass, got caught immediately. And yeah, obviously he's not going to out-grapple Jon Jones. Genius fight IQ. I mean, Ciryl Gane, absolute masterclass. Getting submitted by guillotine against the fucking cage in the first round within 2 minutes. Yeah, that does it for this one. Next fight, we got Gane versus Tuivasa. This is Gane on the ground, praying for his life after Tuivasa drops the shit out of him. I mean, puts him on his ass. This is Gane getting dropped. He got dropped badly. Now, Tuivasa wasn't able to really capitalize on it, and he wasn't able to finish it, but I mean, this is him chasing him down. This is later on. Okay, so he hurts him here. He hurts him here, and he is eventually able to get back up. They get back to the feet. Tuivasa is able to land because you know why? Gane gets reckless. He gets in there, he gets aggressive, he starts charging forward too much. This is him getting absolutely clipped because Gane has zero defensive striking abilities. I mean, if he can't kick you on the hands, his hands are garbage. He doesn't land shit. This is him getting absolutely cracked again. Tuivasa almost dropping his dumb ass on his ass again because he has no hands. This is Gane overextending yet again. I mean, he throws these absolute haymakers and they're slow. I mean, there's nothing on them. There's no power, and they're still slow. I mean, absolute whiff of the century. This is him whiffing completely. This is exactly what gets him caught. I mean, if Tuivasa was a grappler at all, he would have taken him down. Look at there's no balance here. He is completely off balance. He's thrown so far heavy with that overhand. He's completely swung himself out to where he's literally losing his balance. He's overextending so far with the shots. Absolutely terrible striking. I mean, it's god awful. And then we got the Ngannou fight. Don't even get me started on the Ngannou fight. So, Ngannou goes into this fight. We're just going to read this. Ngannou did not reveal the severity of his knee injuries until defeating Gane. He was injured in this fight, and I know people are talking about it, but I feel like people don't really understand the severity of how bad that injury was. And then Ngannou successfully underwent surgery in March to repair a grade 3 MCL tear and ACL damage suffered 1 month. It was less than this too. I think it was like 2 weeks, I believe. Before the Gane fight. It turns out the pay-per-view event was in jeopardy, blah, blah, blah. Ngannou's injuries were so significant that he was advised to step away from the fight or risk endangering his entire career, according to his coach. Every one of us felt that he should pull out of the fight. We're literally walking around with an NFL lineman's knee brace for 4 weeks. I'm freaking in tears because here we are, we put this whole camp together, blah, 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 blah. The doctor basically calls and says he can have irreversible knee damage if he decides to take this fight. Talk about compromised. I mean, this is literally, this is what he had. I mean, literally, you can see he damaged his, I believe this is what was it? I put it in my notes. MPFL. This was the first ligament that he fucked up. His second was the ACL that he didn't quite tear, like rip in half, but he was severely compromised. And this was his MCL that completely tore. I mean, completely it tore in half. This is literally when he made a tweet later on after the surgery, after this fight. He said, knee surgery went very well today. ACL reconstruction and MCL repair. So the ACL damage was bad enough that it could not heal on its own. He had to have surgery. It was that bad. Francis Ngannou came out here with one knee. And you know the worst thing about this? I don't know if I have this in my notes or not, or in the slideshow. But the thing, Francis Ngannou, it was his right knee that was compromised, right? Do you have pictures of this? Oh yeah, this is Gane overextended like a dumbass. Francis Ngannou, his right knee, as you can see, this is the one that was actually affected in this fight, but he wore knee sleeves on both knees to conceal it and not give any signs of which knee might be injured if there was injury. He did that to hide the fact that it was his right knee that was so compromised. And the thing about Francis Ngannou, known as a power puncher, and people are arguing in this fight like, okay, well, Francis Ngannou wasn't able to hurt Ciryl Gane. Francis Ngannou couldn't knock Ciryl Gane out, so Tom Aspinall can't knock him out. You realize Francis Ngannou, he is an orthodox fighter. His right knee, that is the knee that generates him the most power in his striking, especially when he's throwing that cross. He's getting all of that power from his back right leg and his hips, and he can't transition any of that because he can't build up any power off of that blown out knee. So his right hand in this fight, you watch this fight back, his right hand is essentially useless. Any power shots, because there are moments where we're going to talk about one later in this fight where Francis Ngannou overextends with the left hand, his lead hook. He goes for a lead hook. He gets caught. He gets countered. And Gane actually lands a takedown. We'll talk about it. But if you see Gane in this fight, or not Gane, Ngannou in this fight, anytime he's landing powerful shots where he's really winding up on these shots, they're all his lead hook. Because his lead leg, his left knee is fine. It's intact. So he's able to use his left leg as a spring almost, and he's able to get some more momentum, and he's able to get some power generated from those lead hooks with his left hand, the line with his left leg, and his left knee. But that right knee is so compromised, he can't even throw crosses. I mean, he cannot generate any power off of that right hand pretty much throughout the entire fight. If you don't believe me, go watch this fight back. It's kind of crazy how much of a telltale sign it is of this whole injury. It's pretty crazy because Ciryl Gane just doesn't pick up on it at all. But yeah, I mean, he was extremely compromised in this fight with one knee, and I feel like people really underestimate how big of a deal that is. Hopefully by ranting on this enough, you guys can understand it. But this is Gane versus Ngannou. Gane throwing these stupid ass kicks. I mean, if he throws this shit against Tom Aspinall, he's giving up his back clear as day. I mean, he's asking for the takedown. Now, this was early in the fight. This was the first round. So at this point in time, Francis Ngannou was not going for the grappling. He's going to test out the striking and see how he was on the feet. So Gane's getting away with this shit. He wasn't going for the takedowns at this point. But if he was, he would have been caught here. This was later on. Gane throwing some stupid ass wheel kick that ends up not really doing shit. Would have gotten taken. Does he get taken down here? No, he doesn't get taken down here. He would have gotten taken down here if Ngannou even remotely tried to take him down here. If Tom Aspinall is in this situation, yeah, you're going on the ground, pal. This type of shit ain't gonna fly against anyone with a pulse and a little bit of grappling. This is later on. Ciryl Gane, I don't know what the fuck he's doing here. Some more stupid bullshit in the second round towards the end. Would have gotten caught for this. This is him. Third round. Stupid bullshit. Eventually, now, after 2 rounds, this is when the third round starts. 4 minutes into the third round of this fight, he throws some stupid shit. He hasn't been punished the entire time. And he doesn't get punished for the stupid bullshit that he throws because no one else in this entire damn division can grapple. Sorry, I'm crashing out here, but I mean, oh my goodness, it's so mind-blowingly frustrating how people can actually pick Ciryl Gane in this fight. I mean, so this is him. This is him throwing some stupid shit against a guy who's not going to grapple, because, you know, Francis Ngannou, Mr. Nuke in the hands, he's not trying to grapple, guys. He wants to stand and bang, but he's compromised. He can't strike with full force. You know, he doesn't have the power on the right side of his body. I mean, he's pretty much limp on the right side. So eventually he gets the idea, all right, this guy is like able to strike from range. You know, I can't close the distance. I can't land these big power shots with my right hand. Let's try and grapple. And lucky for Francis Ngannou, Ciryl Gane's going to give him every opportunity humanly possible to land a takedown. You can see him basically doing a splits like a ballerina in the air here. Ciryl Gane, what does Francis Ngannou do? Takes his dumb ass down, throws him to the ground, slams him. Easiest takedown I've ever seen in my life. Immediately into side control. I mean, he just gives it right up. I mean, there's no solution at this point. Oh yeah, this was later on. So he controls him pretty much the entire time. From 4 minutes up until eventually they get back up on the feet. Same round. 1 minute left on the clock. They finally get back up on the feet. And at this point, what do you think happens here? Look at Ciryl Gane. At this point, he is tired. Breathing out of the mouth. Hands are low. People are worried about Tom Aspinall's cardio. You make Ciryl Gane grapple and he starts to slow down. I mean, he was exhausted. He was puffing and puffing. Now, he is able to recover pretty well from round to round. I will give Ciryl Gane that. He does have a good ability to recover when he gets to the stool. But in this, I mean, after a couple minutes of grappling, he is tired, especially off of his back, too. He's the one who's having to try and get out. He's the one who's having to try and escape. Francis Ngannou's on top of him, just controlling him. That is way less taxing on your cardio than being on bottom position, trying to scramble your way out and really trying to force yourself up. That's way more exhausting for Ciryl Gane. So no wonder, finally get back up. He's tired. What happens here? A minute left in the clock. Francis Ngannou goes for another takedown. Ciryl Gane, absolutely pissed grappler. What happens? Immediately gets taken down. 30 seconds on the clock. Easiest shit he's ever had. Almost gets a damn submission here with 20 seconds left in the clock. Ciryl Gane, zero grappling. What happens here? Next round. Back to it against the cage. Little striking. Then boom. Francis Ngannou just pretty much bulldozes his way to Ciryl Gane with one knee. Look at this man. He is winning the grappling exchanges against the cage with his weak knee. That's where he's generating the power here. That's where he's forcing Ciryl Gane against the cage, is his bum blown out knee with a ruptured ACL, torn MCL, and his MPFL is completely blown. And he's beating Ciryl Gane in the exchanges against the cage. He's winning the scrambles. He's winning the clinch battles. Why? Because Gane cannot grapple for shit. Immediately after. Oh, wait, no. This is second round. Sorry, no. Round later. This was the fourth round. Wait, no. It was the same round. Oh, shit. I thought I had a bad jump or a bad break. No. Same round. 2:49 on the clock. Fourth round against the cage. 7 seconds later. Boom. Or 8 seconds later against the cage. Boom. Down. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's just like, you go for it against this guy, Ciryl Gane. You want to take down, you shoot for it, you're going to get it, pal. You're going to get it. Immediately down to the ground. This is Francis Ngannou with a blown out right knee. And that one blown out right knee is powerful enough to gain leverage against Ciryl Gane against the cage. Takes him down, dominates him, controls him. Same round. Ciryl Gane is eventually able to get back up to the feet against the cage. Ngannou with one knee, still winning these clinch exchanges against the cage. Takes his dumb ass down again, like it was stealing candy from a baby. I mean, almost no resistance. Ciryl Gane cannot grapple for shit. This is towards the end of the fourth round. You know what? Look at this. Ngannou basically has his Johnson in Gane's face, and Gane is like a hopeless little baby with no idea how to get out of here, praying for his life. You know what this reminds me of? Look familiar? Look familiar? Yes, it looks familiar. Because he can't grapple! This is at the very end. Fifth round's about to start. This is Francis Ngannou working with his damn knees. Actually, wait, no. Sorry, this was earlier in the fight. I put this later on, but I believe this was like in between the second and third and fourth, somewhere in there. It was before the fifth round. But I had this picture in here because you can literally see Francis Ngannou messing with his right knee sleeve. I mean, his right knee was hurting him in this fight. You could see he's fucking around with it like, oh shit, I don't know if he's putting ice on it or what. I wasn't able to see it. But I have this quote up here. It says, don't look for power, just let it go. That is his coach telling him, don't look for power, just let it go, because he can't generate the power he needs. And the only power he's able to generate in this fight is when he's throwing his left lead hook. That's the only power he's able to generate, because he's really able to wind up on it and get some more power with it because of his lead leg. He's able to generate more explosive power. So his coaches just tell him, hey, you're not landing it. Because the thing is, Francis, he doesn't want to naturally do that. He's like loading this up, and that's the only shot that he's throwing with power. He's just spamming this lead overhand or this lead hook over and over again. And it's not doing anything. Gane's able to read it. So that's why his corner's telling him, that shit's not going to work. Let's give it up. Let's just try and land shit. Stop trying to knock this guy out. And it just goes to show how little power he was able to generate because his knee was so damn compromised. But anyway, all right. Then we go out here. Another example, 5th round starts. It arguably is 2-2 going into the 5th round. What does Gane do? What does Gane love to do? Oh, he overextends like a dumbass yet again. I mean, every fight, you look at Gane and he's throwing something and he's overextended. And he's not getting punished because no one in the damn division can grapple. There's no takedown threat. So he's never gotten punished. He's never had to learn. He's just got away with this and he's coasted through these wins throughout the years. Never has gotten better. I mean, it's fight to fight, year to year. It's the same piss poor dog shit in every single fight. And what does he do? You can look at it. You can see how much power he's trying to throw into these damn shots because he's thrown himself almost out of the cage. That's literally how hard he's throwing this shit. Absolutely misses because his hands are dog shit and he gets caught. What happens here? Oh, this was shortly after, actually. So this was him just overextending like a dumbass. This is Francis Ngannou, like I was talking about, that lead shot, that lead hook. That's the only thing that Ngannou is really able to try and wind up on and generate some real power because his right hand is not able to do it with his right knee being so compromised. So Gane finally says, you know what? I'm going to shoot my own takedown. Francis Ngannou loads up on yet another damn lead hook that he's been spamming like an Xbox controller the entire fight. Spams it, Gane ducks, shoots a takedown, and Ngannou gives the takedown up to him. He gives Gane the takedown on a silver platter. He overextends like motherfucker. What does Gane do? He takes him down. Now, from this point, Gane could have won the entire fight. But what does Gane do? What does Gane do? What might you think? The smart decision, let's try and control this guy, coast our way, 3-2 rounds, get it on the scorecards. Nope, he tries to turn into Charles Oliveira, and that's what he tries to do out here. Goes for a he's going for a heel hook here, can't get it, gets reversed. Now he has an opportunity. What does he do? This is the look on his face of like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. I just threw this fight away, going for a damn leg lock or a heel hook, and I couldn't get it. Now I'm screwed with this large, ginormous mountain of a man on top of me in side control. Yeah, I'm fucked. Well, Francis Ngannou ain't exactly a grappler, and he has one knee, so, Gane is able to find a way. He goes for a damn leg lock, and the crazy thing about it in this fight, I feel like people don't talk about it, is that he gets Ngannou's left knee. If he would have had Ngannou's right knee, like if these were just like flipped over on their side, and that right knee was in the leg lock, he might have lost. Ngannou might have tapped out. this shit was already blown up completely. He probably would have just further ruptured. That probably would have been the end of Francis Ngannou. Genuinely. If he lost this, he probably would never ever fight ever again. Because literally his doctor said if he fought and he got injured, it could be a career-ending injury. Just goes to show how poor Gane is on the ground. But anyway, he has this leg lock, can't get it, and what does he do as a result? Gets reversed, and he lets Ngannou back into the fight. Ngannou punishes him for it. Gets the full mount. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make it up. Gane pisses away another fight. This is the scorecards. You can literally see first 2 rounds, Ngannou can't strike at all. He's flat-footed. He's extremely slow. Why? Because his knee is completely blown out. So what does he decide to do? Let's take it to the ground where I don't need to be as fast. I don't have to worry about this guy kickboxing. Dominates. He won all 3 rounds. 3, 4, and 5. Grappling this guy with one knee. And Francis Ngannou is not a grappler. He's a striker. Francis Ngannou has never won a decision in his entire MMA career before this fight. This is his only decision. Did I say submission? I meant decision. This is his only decision win Francis Ngannou has ever had was against Ciryl Gane, where he looked like primed Khabib. Holy shit. A lot of rambling, but that does it for this. That across the 5, he lost to Volkov. Great, you beat Spivak, who didn't shoot a single takedown. You got destroyed by John Jones. You beat Tai Tuivasa after he dropped your ass, and you got absolutely grapple fucked by Francis Ngannou with one knee. Terrible look. But next up, we got Tom Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall, our boy, lock of the card, lock of the year. Let's go through his fights. Aspinall versus Blades, 2. This is 2. He hits Blades with a jab. This was a jab. A jab. Not some haymaker. Not a Poeton lead hook. Not a wild overhand. Not a spinning elbow. This was a jab. Curtis Blades gets hit with the jab. Shortly after, flattened out on the ground and ground and pounded. I feel like this sums that one up pretty well. Aspinall versus Pavlovich sends this man to another dimension. This is Pavlovich's lifeless corpse on the ground after getting decimated in a minute. This is Pavlovich's lifeless corpse getting ground and pounded to oblivion after being deceased. This is another angle of Pavlovich's lifeless corpse falling to the ground in 1 minute. And this is Aspinall versus Tybura. Tybura flattening like a pancake sandwich and getting completely folded in a minute. This is his lifeless corpse hitting the ground even further in another angle. You can see the eyes rolling back, and it looks like he is almost having a seizure in this. Almost like a heavyweight Bryce Mitchell. And, wait, next up. Yeah, then we got against Volkov. Actually, okay, so the Volkov fight, it was a little bit more competitive. Because, I mean, these ones were just like, holy shit, this guy needs a nerve. But the Volkov fight comes around. Okay, the Volkov fight, this one was a little bit more interesting to break down because the other ones were just fucking manslaughters. But Volkov fight comes around. Tom Aspinall runs right into him. I mean, charges him right away, gets a takedown, boom, huge, great, shmoney. He's able to get it. I will say he looks great on the ground and pound shots. He's able to have his way. Eventually, they're able to stand back up, though. This is the half a round mark. Look at Volkov. His ears busted open, blood all in his hair. He's blood everywhere. Tom Aspinall, as fresh as can be, his cardio looks amazing. Volkov has this look of like, holy shit, what the fuck am I even getting myself into here? Shortly after, Volkov overextends. And you know what happens when people overextend their shots against Tom Aspinall? They get taken the hell down, and they get dominated, and they get removed from consciousness. Or they get their arms broken in half. You know what happens? This is where Volkov overextended. You ever seen, look familiar? Gets overextending in their shots. Yep, this is Volkov. This is Ciryl Gane in every single fight. You know what happens when you overextend against Tom Aspinall? You get taken down. I mean, you get taken down. He's able to get this takedown. You can see his hands wrapping up behind the back. Volkov here is done. He's fucked. No going back from this point, pal. It's over. Immediately to the ground. Immediately to side control. And then your arm's getting snapped in half before you even know what happened. That is what Tom Aspinall does to people, especially who overextend their shots. Tom Aspinall is an absolute lock. Whatever you do, do not place money on Ciryl Gane. Now, is there a world where Ciryl Gane could win? Sure. Maybe Tom Aspinall has the worst cardio you've ever seen, completely death gases immediately. Maybe Tom Aspinall comes out here, blows his ACL out again. Maybe Tom Aspinall has a heart attack in the cage. Who knows? Anything could happen. Maybe he gets robbed on a robbery decision. Who knows? Tom Aspinall is locked, though. Lock it in, boys. Sorry for the longer breakdown on this one, but I just thought it was so important. This is one of those where it's like, I still don't think the odds are wide enough. Tom Aspinall should be like a minus 600 favorite, and it's not even close. I don't get why the line is actually tightened a bit. I don't get it. But anyway, Tom Aspinall is a lock. But anyway, boys, that does it for the breakdown for the locks and traps for UFC 321. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a longer one, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I'm going to get this video out to you guys ASAP. We're going to have the best video coming out soon. We're going to have the weigh-in recap video coming out here soon. So in the meantime, I got to get this one edited and out to you guys. But anyway, thank you guys so much for the love on the recent videos. I really appreciate it. All the love. It means a ton. So thank you guys once again. It's your boy Jacob from Topside MMA, and I'm out. So peace.